All right, everyone. Another episode of Advice to Junior Developers, and today we're going to be talking about something very, very important, and that's interviews. All right, so at some point, once you've applied for a job, you may get that wonderful email that's inviting you to an interview, and that will sort of just boost a little bit of anxiety that you might have and saying, okay, great, now I need to make sure that I perform, that I deliver so that I can move forward to the next stage or maybe get an offer at some point, right? So there's a couple of key things that we'll be focusing on, but a couple of the pitfalls that I've seen, particularly interviewing people myself. Let's get into it, right? So the first one, if you put something on your CV, there's a big chance that someone will ask you questions about that. It might be a project that you've put on your CV, or particularly part of a description of a job that you worked on, or maybe if you're just a junior that's come out of college or university, you might have put some details about project. Make sure you know the details of those projects. I know it might have been a long time since you might have worked on it, but brush up on it because likely the interviewer will ask you questions about that project. And if you start stuttering, you're like, oh, I don't know, blah, 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 or just start kind of waffling, um, then it's going to come across that you're not prepared, or at least, that you haven't taken the time to even look at what's on your CV, just put in whatever on your CV just to get that interview. So make sure that you're clear on everything that's on your CV or your resume, and make sure that you're aware of all of the details that you've included because there's a good chance that you will get questioned on it. Of course, some people might just overlook your resume completely, but there are people that will look on it. I have asked people about their projects in the past and got some unique responses, let's say. So that's something that you need to look out for, right? And the second thing is that try and do a little bit of research about the company as well. I know sounds like basic information, but a lot of people don't do it. You don't need to know like the whole history of the organization that you're applying to. Just pick out like some one or two interesting details that you might be able to find online, because when it comes up in the interview, which it may well do at the start of the call, you can just mention one of those 2 points that you come across, and maybe like a product that you're interested in working on, and when you join the company, or maybe there's a new initiative or something that you might have seen that you're interested in. It just kind of shows that you're invested. You put some time in to go over those details because I know in this kind of economy when we see jobs open, we just send our CV or resume over and kind of call it a day, and they'll just keep sending it, right? People are doing 800, 900, 1,000 applications. It's crazy before they get, a couple of interviews and then hopefully an offer at the end of it. So I get it. The it is a difficult environment or a difficult economy to be in. But yeah, just do those basic things, like research, and it does make a difference because you will be ahead of people because people still won't do those basic things. I can promise you that. It doesn't matter what the economy's like, they won't do it. So yeah, that is a really, really important. So make sure that you cover that detail as well. But yeah, and probably the last thing that I would say is just prepare a couple of questions. What are your expectations from that organization? What can you ask them that you'd be interested in, right? You could maybe ask them about their technology stack that they're currently working with, what kind of projects that they have available they could potentially work on. Are they working on any open source initiatives that you could, maybe get interested in? What are the availability for you to cross train on new skills? Do they have like a learning and development budget that they give to their engineers? You can maybe learn a little bit more information about that. Any conferences that they could, you could attend. You can ask questions about these kind of things to showcase that, you know, not only are you interested in working as a engineer there, but also you want to keep building and developing your skills to become more of an all-rounder. I know obviously nowadays people want everything, right? They you look at a job description, for any jobs out there, and they'll list all the technologies, right? So I'm not suggesting that you learn all of them, but I'm just saying that even though we might know, a particular language or will be really good at the back end or front end or React or Java or whatever, um, we should still show interest in wanting to develop ourselves and A lot of companies are really interested in that. You want someone who's self-motivated, is your sort of self-starter, who can just kind of get going. That doesn't need like a push to go and land something that you'll be willing to go and do yourself. And those kind of questions help, right? Kind of like says, okay, yeah, this person is interested in their own development, and so let's provide them information. And small things like that can mean that you move to the next stage. So yeah, those are the three key bits of advice that I'd give. Um, Write them down, watch this video again if you need to come back to it, go through it, download it, whatever. But try and implement those basic things, and it will put you ahead of a lot of people because people won't do that. So yeah, hopefully that helps.